Hello everybody, for today's video we'll be back on our regularly scheduled Gacha Cringe comps, so let's get right into the video. This character is a stereotypical furry, and there's no real animation in this meme, it's all just presets, it's all just the typical gacha and non-animation, so let's get right into this. So this is a very common theme. Well, this is just the entire video. It's just this character going around different areas. That's kind of it. He just kind of moves across the screen like that. It's not even fluid, it's choppy. They couldn't even do that right. It's very bottom of the barrel. That's what I'm trying to say. And not to say that all gacha content's bottom of the barrel. This one seems to be like the extra layer under the bottom of the barrel, you know? So now we have my least fucking favorite part of the meme, where there's like this thrusting animation going on, and I think he's supposed to be flossing, but it's like this weird combination between flossing and thrusting, which is just, my eyes are in absolute hell, and I never want to see again after this. But again, some advice is, don't do that. Just don't do that. It's not something you should do. Don't do that. Do not add the flossing meme into this, because flossing is, first of all, not funny to not laugh, and second of all, it's just, yeah, on a gacha character, it's terrible, man. I'm sorry. Like, this is mostly subjective. This isn't really a critique. It's just me saying, hey, you should probably, you know, work on some animation some more. But I feel like the entertainment value of, like, watching this is enough. So, let's keep going. It doesn't really matter, 'cause I feel so free now. So the movement in this one is a lot. There's way more of it, that's what I'm just gonna say. It's not the best, but at least there's some movement. As you can already see, the proportions are absolutely fucked, and the movement is, the hair seems to be moving on its own, which is, you know, the hair doesn't do that. It looks like the hair and the head were taken from a character, and then the body and the tail were taken from another, like a different character, like kind of Frankenstein stitched together. So there's that. You can actually see the parts where the hair, was disconnected from the body, which is again not a good look. Try and keep your parts. Try to keep the seams and your tweening as smooth and unseen as possible, because that's what ultimately ends you up with a smooth looking product. You know, it only makes sense. Alright, so already we have this absolutely just shit show of a fucking video, where this character, they're just kind of like, they're throwing their head back and forth, nothing's making sense, the proportions are all off, there doesn't seem to be a neck anywhere in sight, nothing is good, nothing is fine, this is so discordant, I don't like it, and I feel like this would be a lot better if the keyframes were better managed, and if the character, first of all, did not look like it was Frankenstein stitched together, and the proportions and resolutions of the images were similar, and, you know. So right here, the animation just becomes, or the video just becomes pretty deep fried, so maybe try, color theory is very prominent in animation memes. It's another thing that really ties the whole thing together. So try and keep your colors as close on the color wheel as possible, or if you are going to have some contrast, make sure it's few and far between. And to have two different sort of color shifts, like the black and white one and this one, I don't feel like that's a very good look for this meme. And besides, the deep fried look does not work at all with any animation meme. I guess I can be proved wrong if you managed to find a good deep fried animation meme, but the hair again seems to move on its own accord. So what I do is I copy paste the head keyframes onto the hair, and then depending on the length of the hair, and the movement of the head, I sometimes offset it just a teeny bit so it looks like it's, you know, moving the way hair does. The tweening, they clearly have some knowledge of keyframing. They're just not doing, they know what to do, they just can't do it neatly, you know? So maybe try a little less movements at first, and then work your way up to, you know, getting bigger movements where you can tie everything together properly. That's what I'm trying to, that's my advice. So right here, they just kind of put like a little lazy symbol, or like they should, like, they just like, ah, yeah, I got lazy here, but then they put something right after it. So I don't understand the point of that. Like, if you're gonna just like, if you're just gonna like completely omit a part of the meme, you should either just cut it off there, or you should just copy paste some more frames in there. You know, just to make it, just to fill it out and not have that weird little bit where you just don't have anything there. That's very odd design choice, I guess. Again, the head seems to not even be attached to anything. There's no neck in sight. So again, try to limit the head movement, make it a little less all over the place, you know. And the character crying, I don't know why I find that funny. It just doesn't fit at all with, like, she's like crying and shaking, but her body is like super, like, I can't, I'm sorry, I just find it funny for some reason. Also, she's a furry, which is not surprising. Disappointed, but not surprised. So for this next animation meme, the creator couldn't even get the name of the meme right. They misspelled it. It's not spelled tryptophobia, even though that's kind of how it's pronounced, but either way, let's get right into it. So we have this character, very typical looking furry with a knife, insanity, some edgy backstory, I'm presuming. The part with the purple fella, the purple-haired fella, I feel like it goes on for a little too long. They could have replaced something with them. They could have at least put another image in there, but of course they were too lazy to even do that. So here we are again with same loop. Yeah, it's just a loop. It's like the same few pictures over and over again. So again, I'm gonna go into my whole spiel about variety. Good thing, you should have it. Good thing, put in your animation memes, because it makes people want to watch them for longer, and it makes people like your characters more if you see more of them, you know? And besides, they could have done so much more with this, because having no variety is no excuse in a gacha meme, because it's literally the easiest thing to make, and there's nothing you have to draw, there's nothing you have to work out. You just gotta put a character on the screen and make them do some stuff, you know? That's not hard to do, and there's, again, no excuse for having like 4 frames in an animation meme where you're not even animating and you're not even drawing your own art. So very, not pleased with that. Yes, I'll keep going. The hair does seem to move a little bit, which that was a good thing, I guess. You know, you got some movement in there, but it's barely noticeable. It's very simple to do, and it's not at all up to par with, you know, typical animation meme kind of stuff. So try a little harder on that one. Maybe add some head movement, add some arm movement, draw your own stuff, you know, that kind of stuff. I said stuff twice. I'm stuff. So yeah, that's just kind of it for the rest of the meme. Again, add more variety. Variety really holds up your animation meme if you have a very simple concept like this. So there's that. If you're not doing a lot with your animation meme, and you're not really trying too hard with it, so basically what I'm saying is that if your animation lacks content in forms of movement, variety is best, because it keeps your viewers interested, it keeps them wanting more, and you know, if your content isn't fun to look at, like it's not really well animated, there's not a lot of movement going on, it's fine to have content like that. Just know that your audience will get bored of it quickly, and variety is very key when you're doing something like that. So that's it for today. Let's go right into the outro. So that's all for today's video. This is kind of my first video from Gacha that doesn't directly involve me, but hope you enjoyed. I'll try and get some more content out soon, so see you next time. Bye.